you are a space geek or are a fan of space missions, this is a laptop that you gotta check out. It is the Asus ZenBook 14X OLED Space Edition. It is a super cool laptop, and despite the gimmicks that it has right here, it is a really powerful Ultrabook that I've been testing for over a week. Now, as you can see right over here, the ZenBook 14X OLED Space Edition has a really cool design that you really can't find anywhere in the market. Now, this is of course a space themed laptop, so you get a really nice titanium space themed design right over here. Now, even though it doesn't feature any titanium space grade lightweight material right inside here, it is actually pretty lightweight at 1.4 kilograms, and that's pretty transportable by all means for a 14-inch laptop. Now, before we get into the details of the laptop, let's just talk a little bit about the design here, because this is so cool that I just got to show you some things that Asus has done over here to make this laptop special. Now, first of all, there is this cool OLED screen right over here that can always stay on when you're on the laptop. It is totally customizable as well in the My Asus app. And right on the front here, if we look at this chassis over here, there are some lines and all these things. It's not there for design purposes, but also it is actually a Morse code that says a couple of things that you can check it out on the Asus website if you want to know what they really mean, or if you're an expert in Morse code, you could actually tell what they really are. And the Morse code lines continue to be inside the chassis right at the palm area here, so it is actually pretty cool, and I wish I could just remove all the stickers so that it looks like a clean slate with all these Morse codes all around. And right at the bottom here, there is actually a little message here that says ad astra per aspera. I'm not sure if that's the right way to read it. It means true hardships through the stars, if I'm not mistaken. That is according to what it is on Asus website here. Now, as you can see, the keyboard here also has the same color as the entire chassis, and there is a really special color spacebar with a planet logo right over here. It looks pretty cool, and even the power button here is in this really cool orange or orange red color. I'm not sure what that color actually is. So overall, this is a pretty cool looking laptop that I'm really proud of carrying around these days and put it in coffee shops, and people just come around asking me, what is this laptop? And it's something that I have been really impressed with. Now, despite all these cool gimmicks, the ZenBook 14X OLED is a very powerful laptop and is essentially an upgrade over the previous ZenBook 14X OLED. Now, this is powered by a 12th gen Intel Core i7's 12700H processor, and my unit here has 16GB of LPDDR5 RAM and a TB of PCIe 4 NVMe storage. In terms of port selection, you are getting the same amount of ports like the previous ZenBook 14X OLED, although the position has changed slightly. Now, on the left here, you get an HDMI 2.0 port, 2 USB-C Thunderbolt 4 ports, and on the right side, you get a full-size USB 3.2 Gen 2 port, a headphone jack, and a micro SD card slot. Now, I wish there were actually more USB-C ports on this laptop, but I believe space is definitely a constraint right over here, considering how slim this laptop really is. So I would say that this kind of port selection is actually pretty decent already for such kind of laptops. Now, of course, in terms of design, you are not actually getting the same hinge design like the new ZenBook 14 OLED that I reviewed in another video. If you haven't checked that out, you can go check out in the card right above, so you can check out what my thoughts are, right? So you still get this ergo lift hinge that tilts the keyboard up a little for a more comfortable typing position. Now, speaking of tilting up the laptop, Asus has actually done a really smart thing by allowing you to convert the accessory box into a laptop stand. And that's actually a pretty neat thing that not many other laptop manufacturers has done, and this is kind of the way that Asus is supporting sustainability causes by letting you use that accessory box, right? And I think it's a pretty cool feature that everyone should really go check it out. So, in terms of the typing experience, it is essentially the same like the ZenBook 14X OLED. It has a very good tactile, it has a really good key travel for really fast typing, and the trackpad is very big, it has a very responsive touch, and the number pad 2.0 can fortunately be disabled this time as well, so that you don't accidentally touch it, just in case if you're typing really fast and you tap on the touchpad. It has good palm rejection as well, and overall this laptop will offer a solid productivity experience. Now, even though it has the same hinge design as the old ZenBook 14X OLED, the screen doesn't go all the way down to a flat 180 degree, which could be a disappointment for some people. The ZenBook 14X OLED Space Edition has a 720p webcam, which is what you're seeing right now, and it looks really good with noise reduction technology applied. So even when you're using it in low light conditions, it will still look really good. But what makes me really impressed with it is that it has a mechanical privacy shutter when you press on the webcam disable key on the keyboard, and it's really cool. In terms of performance, the ZenBook 14X OLED Space Edition is really impressive. Now, it is the very first time that ASUS has fitted an H-series Intel processor onto such a slim chassis right here. That's because of Intel's more efficient manufacturing process system on this series of chips, and it also has dual cooling fans running right inside to dissipate heat out of the chassis. Now, if you're using on battery and not doing anything heavy, this laptop is dead silent, and even when it is on load, the fans don't really spin fast, and you can just hear a little bit of whisper when you're really running a lot of stuff, and that of course leads to very high thermal temperatures. This laptop could actually go up to 96 degrees Celsius in terms of CPU temperatures when you're doing things like lightweight gaming or even editing a video on Premiere Pro. And speaking of video editing on Premiere Pro, I ran a 4K video project on this machine and it ran without a sweat. Basically, I'm running it on battery, and it is so impressive that how I can scrub through my entire timeline without seeing any lags right here. Although, as you can see in this timeline here, I do not have a lot of effects. I do not have any LUTs as well. So it ran pretty smooth. So if you want a lightweight laptop that can do 4K video editing on the go, the ZenBook 14X OLED Space Edition is definitely one that you can consider right over here. Now, adding on top of performance, this laptop can actually do pretty decent lightweight gaming. So I recently signed up to Xbox Game Pass and I downloaded Forza Horizon 5 on this machine, and I was so surprised on how it was able to handle the game so well. Now, of course, I don't recommend that you use this for gaming because the laptop can get really hot on the top left part, and on the left side of the entire laptop it gets really hot. But if you really want to do some simple lightweight gaming such as Rocket League, Dota 2, or like I mentioned Forza Horizon 5, this laptop could actually handle games pretty well if you don't push the graphics setting. And speaking of that as well, I would just like to add on one thing, and it is the OLED display here. Now, this is a very beautiful 14-inch 16 by 10 2880 by 1800 pixel resolution OLED display that tops out at 550 nits. It's very bright when you use it indoors, and it's very color accurate as well. So you can definitely do a lot of creative work on this thing without connecting an external monitor. Aside from this beautiful OLED display, the ZenBook 14X OLED Space Edition also has very impressive loudspeakers, and for the first time ever, it is actually better than a MacBook speaker. It sounds very loud and crisp and offers very decent amount of bass, and here's how it sounds like.
Look up.
This road, we're too exposed out here.
Having all these cool features and performance leads to one big compromise on this laptop, and that is battery life. Now, I'm not suggesting that this is the worst battery life of all Ultrabooks I've tested, but it still goes up to 5 hours on a single charge when you want it to. But for modern Ultrabook standards, that's a little bit disappointing because considering how portable it is, you definitely want this laptop to last more than 5 hours on a single charge if you're merely using it for productivity tasks. And if you're doing something heavy on it, such as video editing or photo editing, expect that battery life to go down even faster. Now, despite of that, this laptop thankfully supports 100 watts of USB-PE charging, and if you happen to buy that power bank or you can buy a third-party adapter, you can use this laptop up in no time. So I would hardly consider that as a deal breaker, to be honest, because I always charge this laptop halfway through my day and it gets charged really fast. At this time of shooting and publishing, I do not have any pricing details in Malaysia just yet, but it will be launched today at ASUS Malaysia Roadshow, so definitely head over there to check out if you haven't. But you know what? My gut feeling tells me that this laptop will be priced around 6,000 to 7,000 ringgit. If that is what ASUS pricing strategy is, because it wouldn't be too far from the original ZenBook 14X OLED, and I'm sure ASUS definitely wants more people to own this laptop. And even for myself, I'm seriously considering replacing my M1 MacBook Pro with the ZenBook 14X OLED Space Edition because it has so many great features and it looks cool and performs great as well. Right, so that's pretty much about my thoughts of the ZenBook 14X OLED Space Edition. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to give us a thumbs up if you love what you saw, and remember to subscribe to our channel for more videos coming right up, and I'll see you guys in our next one.